You look great in that dress, Harper. Harper didn't respond to those words, instead looking slightly confused. My sister-in-law Vanessa had, for some reason, handed over my daughter Lily's dress to her own daughter Harper. Unable to fully grasp the situation, I remained silent, my stomach tightening with unease. See, doesn't it look much more adorable on Harper? Vanessa said this with a mocking smile, then pressed the dress against Harper's shoulders while holding up her smartphone to snap another photo. If I were to respond here, it might lead to an argument, and my heart was already racing with anxiety. When I looked over at my husband Nathan, he stayed quiet, his face pale, eyes fixed on his phone screen. Wouldn't you agree that Harper looks cuter in that dress than Lily does? Or does Lily think she's cuter than Harper? Do you think you're somehow better than her, Nathan? Why are you saying it like that? I can confidently say Harper looks way cuter. Nathan's voice cracked slightly as he spoke. Am I thinking about this all wrong? Vanessa's tone grew more intense, as if she'd claimed a decisive victory, her fingers rapidly tapping on her screen. I stood frozen, my breath caught in my throat, wondering what I was witnessing here. Harper wearing the dress is something special. If someone offers it to you, you absolutely take it. Got it? Vanessa shot a glare at Nathan, her perfectly manicured nail pointing accusingly. Why is it he can never stand up to her? Though he's my husband, I couldn't help feeling a sharp twist of disappointment in my chest. And yet, his next words, regardless of Vanessa's pressure, were unforgivable. Well, it's true that the dress looks better on Harper than on Lily anyway. When Nathan looked down at Lily and said that, time stopped for me. His words hit me like a cold splash of water, sending chills down my spine. Lily's small face changed to an expression filled with sadness, her eyes glistening with tears. Thank you for everything up until now. Taking Lily's hand, I said this flatly, feeling my heart hardening with each beat. She also sensed my resolve, nodded slightly, her small hand squeezing mine, and then looked back at Nathan. Bye, Daddy. With that, we began preparing to leave together, my fingers trembling as I gathered our things. As we walked out the door, Vanessa's laughter echoed behind us, but Lily and I didn't stop. We kept walking, committed to our new future, not looking back, the weight of betrayal heavy on our shoulders. But everything would change in just 10 minutes. My name is Olivia Turner, and I'm 45 years old. I live with my husband Nathan and our daughter Lily. I've always thought we had a peaceful and happy home, our own little sanctuary from the chaos of the world. In our open dining kitchen with a view of the living room, I was casually preparing breakfast, the morning light streaming through the windows, warming my face. My kind husband Nathan was scrolling through news on his tablet, and our 8-year-old daughter Lily was getting ready for the day, her movements precise and purposeful. Just before leaving for school, she has a habit of double-checking her backpack, her small fingers carefully running through the contents. Aside from weekends, I also work as a freelance costume designer. Perhaps sensing my often hectic schedule, Lily is an independent, easygoing child who handles things herself, never adding to my stress. Nathan absolutely adores Lily and, without being asked, braids her hair into pigtails every morning, his fingers moving with surprising gentleness. I wanted to be a dad who can braid hair, he once told me, his eyes soft with affection. Since her preschool days, he's been trying, sometimes struggling to braid her hair before heading out for work, his face a portrait of concentration. Now he braids her hair faster and better than I do, a fact that fills me with both admiration and a touch of good-natured envy. Through the kitchen window, I could see our small garden, a precious patch of nature in our suburban life. On my day off last week, Lily and I planted some bulbs for spring, our hands working together in the rich soil. They were tulip bulbs we got from a local hardware store, nothing fancy but full of promise. We just prepared the flowbed soil and planted them, our little secret waiting beneath the earth. Nothing more to do until spring, but the anticipation makes me smile. Still, I find myself glancing at the bare garden soil from the small kitchen window out of habit, imagining the colorful blooms that will eventually emerge. The day we planted the bulbs, Nathan's sister Vanessa suddenly moved into our neighborhood. She moved in without notifying Nathan beforehand and then came to greet us with her daughter Harper, her arrival as unexpected as a summer storm. It's been a while, Olivia. We're right nearby. I might be bothering you sometimes, but I look forward to getting along, she announced, her voice dripping with false warmth. Wearing gardening gloves and caught off guard by her unexpected visit, I was bewildered, my heart skipping a beat. Nathan's displeasure was clear on his face, and he seemed slightly irritated, his jaw tightening. Vanessa, you could have at least given us a heads up before coming, he said, his voice strained. Vanessa narrowed her eyes slightly. With perfectly groomed hair, she played with a strand and gave Nathan an upward glance, smiling with practiced charm. Hey, can we talk alone for a bit? There are things only siblings can talk about, right? Her voice was honey sweet, but somehow made my skin crawl. Nathan stared at Vanessa for a moment without saying a word, and then it led to him listening to various matters inside the house, his shoulders slumping in resignation. I was left feeling confused, a knot forming in my stomach. So, Harper's left behind, standing awkwardly on our lawn. Seeing her looking bored, I invited her to help plant bulbs in the flower bed with Lily, trying to ease the tension in the air. Sorry, Auntie Olivia. Holding the small shovel I handed her, Harper said this with a slightly sad look on her face, her eyes downcast. Harper, for an elementary schooler, had bright brown hair and large expressive eyes that seemed to hold a world of unspoken thoughts. She often dressed stylishly in designer clothes, looking quite like her mom Vanessa, who had long golden hair and a striking appearance that demanded attention. Unlike Lily and me, who had a calmer look, Harper wore cheerful, colorful clothes with bright ribbons, a walking rainbow against our more subdued palette. You don't have to apologize, sweetie. Let's plant these together, okay? When spring comes, we'll have lots of flowers, I said, trying to make her feel welcome. Yeah, thank you. Lily smiled gently and placed a bulb in Harper's hand, her kindness making my heart swell with pride. After a moment's thought, Harper sat on the ground and began digging with the shovel, her initial hesitation melting away. Once the bulbs were planted in the flower bed, the two of them went home, Vanessa's perfume lingering in the air long after she'd gone. With a slight uneasy smile, Nathan turned to me and said, Vanessa wants us to watch Harper tomorrow morning, his voice tinged with apology. Apparently, Vanessa, since her divorce, had been under a lot of stress and wanted a break. Nathan hadn't gotten all the details, though, and I could see the conflict in his eyes. My mom and dad spoiled Vanessa so much when we were kids. I don't know. She knows how to get people to help her. He admitted I had to put up with it a lot growing up, rubbing the back of his neck. And did you just agree to watch her with that good brother smile of yours? I asked, already knowing the answer. Well, I just couldn't say no, he confessed, avoiding my gaze. Well, I'm the one who'll be taking care of her, aren't I? The little brother's still caving to his big sister's demands. Has anything really changed? I couldn't keep the edge from my voice, feeling the familiar pattern settling over us like a heavy blanket. From that day on, every weekend I wasn't working, Harper would be dropped off at our house. It was happening so often that I talked to Nathan about it, but he took Vanessa's side. Come on, it's tough for her, he said, his eyes fixed on his phone screen, deliberately avoiding my gaze. I felt a bit frustrated, my jaw clenching with the effort to stay calm, but I held back too. After all, both their parents had already passed, with Nathan and Vanessa as each other's only family. I told myself it was right for me to be patient, though my patience was wearing thin. So as Harper started visiting every weekend, I felt our daily routine gradually shifting, like sand slipping through my fingers. I'd prepare breakfast in the morning, glancing at the unchanged flower bed, feeling a faint unease as our peaceful days slowly lost their color, my heart heavy with worry. I began to notice the cause clearly. Nathan's attitude had changed since Vanessa moved nearby. He'd lost his kindness and seemed constantly rushed, a bit colder, as if a wall had formed between us. Though he works late every night, recently he's been taking his laptop out on his days off too, the blue light illuminating his face in the darkness. I'll go find a quiet spot to work on some projects, he'd mutter, already walking away. We're spending less time together as a family these days. I finally worked up the courage to ask him, my heart pounding in my chest. Asking this took a lot of bravery on my part. Nathan leaves his entire paycheck to me, doesn't smoke or drink, and has no real hobbies. He's always been a kind father who braids Lily's hair every morning. So if he says he doesn't have time for family, he must really be busy, I reasoned, though doubt not at me. I didn't know what answer I was hoping for, but I couldn't help but want something that would reassure me, some small comfort to ease the growing ache in my chest. They've given me a new project at work. I've got more work events to go to. I'm really sorry. He looked away, his shoulders slumped slightly, a gesture that felt both familiar and strangely hollow. In the past, he'd always valued family time despite his limited days off. But now it felt like that time had almost disappeared, leaving a void where our connection used to be. With an air of genuine regret, he muttered an apology again. I'm really sorry. On weekends, it was as if Vanessa was filling in the gaps left in our family time, visiting more frequently with Harper wearing her little ribbons, her presence a constant reminder of our changing dynamics. If you're not going out, you got time, right? That was her attitude, sharp as a knife, and she continued to leave Harper with us more and more, her expectations hanging in the air. I had no choice but to accept Vanessa's whims, my frustration building like pressure in a sealed container. But even so, one comfort was seeing Lily and Harper playing happily together, their innocent joy a balm to my troubled spirit. I quietly watched them from the living room sofa where they played right in front of me, their laughter washing over me like gentle waves. The soft sunlight streaming through the window gently illuminated their smiling faces, creating a golden halo around them. The two of them sat at the small piano in the corner of the living room, happily pressing the keys, lost in their own world of music and discovery. Harper, try pressing this white key here. As Lily instructed, Harper's eyes sparkled as she reached out her finger, tentative but curious. When a sound played, she smiled joyfully and exclaimed, I want to do it more. Her excitement contagious. Lily smiled proudly and said, This is a song I learned. Then she began to play a simple melody with her fingers, her concentration absolute. Watching them, I felt my heart warm, thawing the ice that had been forming there. I recalled when Lily had started piano lessons at 3 years old, her tiny fingers barely able to press the keys. She had been nervous but captivated by the sound of the piano during her first lesson, her face a picture of wonder. Now she was the one teaching Harper, applying her experience with confidence. Seeing her growth was deeply moving, bringing tears to my eyes. Now, Harper, why don't you try playing? Lily encouraged her with a gentle voice. With some hesitation, Harper placed her fingers on the keys, her uncertainty giving way to determination. As sounds filled the room, Lily demonstrated. Here, like this. Her patience remarkable. Harper tried to imitate her, concentration etched on her small face. Their fingers danced across the keys, creating a symphony of imperfect but beautiful notes. Great job, Harper. Wow, you're learning so fast. Lily praised, her pride evident. Harper laughed bashfully but seemed to enjoy making sounds at her own pace, finding her rhythm. I cherished this moment, grateful to witness their growth, storing it like a precious treasure in my heart. The sound of the piano filled the room, blending with their laughter, creating a perfect harmony. I suddenly realized something, the revelation washing over me like cool water. For now, there was no shadow of Vanessa or the changed demeanor of Nathan. I could simply focus on enjoying this peaceful time, letting it soothe my troubled soul. The music and laughter from Lily and Harper were a source of comfort to me now, a reminder of what truly matters. As these weekends continued, Harper grew close to me and began to trust me. At times, she looked up to me almost like a real mom and often confided her feelings, her guard gradually lowering in my presence. Auntie Olivia, I'm sorry for always coming over, she whispered one day, her fingers tracing invisible patterns on the couch. Not at all. Lily seems happy too, and watching you get better at the piano is my joy, I replied, my heart warming at her concern. There was no lie in those words. Harper had a natural talent for the piano, her fingers finding the keys with surprising intuition. With only a bit of guidance from Lily and me, her skills improved dramatically, blossoming with each practice. Today, Lily was away for several hours, practicing at her piano class. Harper, looking a bit lonely, sat in front of the piano, her hands resting on the keys, carefully pressing each key. It was as if she were trying to convey something with every sound, her emotions flowing through her fingertips. Sensing a slight sadness in the melody, I walked over, my concern growing, and Harper looked up at me, tears streaming down her face, her eyes pools of distress. "What's wrong, Harper?" I asked, my stomach tightening with worry. "I'm sorry, Auntie Olivia. There's something I need to apologize for," she choked out, her small shoulders trembling. My heart fluttered with concern, beating against my ribs. Harper was always cheerful and lively in front of Lily, so what could be bothering her today? As I rubbed her back, feeling the tension in her small frame, I reassured her, "It's okay." Then Harper, through her tears, said to me, "It feels like Mom and Uncle Nathan are doing something bad together," her voice barely above a whisper. "Well, what exactly do you mean by that?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady despite the sudden chill that ran through me. "I'm sorry," was all she could manage, her voice breaking. Despite feeling both surprised and uneasy, my mind racing with possibilities, Harper's sobs became so intense that she couldn't continue speaking. At that moment, I just kept rubbing her back gently, trying to provide comfort while my own thoughts tumbled chaotically. "It's okay, everything's fine," I soothed, though uncertainty gnawed at me. And I didn't bring up the topic again after that, not wanting to push her further. Nathan and Vanessa doing something bad. It didn't quite make sense to me, so I didn't dwell on it too much at the time, though the seed of doubt had been planted, taking root in my mind. My mind was filled with thoughts about Lily's upcoming piano recital. Last month, Lily's piano teacher had invited her to participate in a recital, her first one since she started piano lessons at 3. For the big day, we even went to a salon for the first time to get her ready, a special treat that brought a rare sparkle to her eyes. In a rare moment when Harper wasn't with us, the three of us went dress shopping. We got into the car, the air buzzing with excitement, drove to a large shopping mall, and browsed multiple stores. "Mom, Dad, come on, hurry." Lily, usually so calm, was a bit more excited than usual, pulling us along with surprising strength. She kept asking me in the car, "I wonder what kind of dresses they'll have," her anticipation palpable in the small space. "What color do you want, Lily?" I asked, enjoying her rare enthusiasm. "Light blue, like the sky." Without hesitation, Lily answered, her mind clearly made up long before. We browsed several stores, our footsteps echoing on the polished floors, searching for a light blue dress that would be perfect for her, examining fabrics and styles with careful attention. "Oh, this one. I want this one." Pointing at a dress that sparkled under the light, Lily's eyes shone brightly, her face transformed with joy. We asked a store assistant, and she took it to the fitting room to try it on, the curtain swishing closed behind them. When Lily came out, she looked a bit shy, with a face that tried to hide her overflowing smile, her happiness radiating from within. She looked absolutely adorable, the dress complimenting her in every way. Lily chose that light blue dress, and with a beaming smile, she told Nathan and me, "Thank you. I'll do my best at the recital," her gratitude warming my heart. Imagining her standing alone on stage in her chosen dress for her piano recital made my eyes misty, a lump forming in my throat. But there was no worry. Lily would be just fine. Her innocent smile was filled with confidence, a quiet determination that impressed me. Back home, as I stood in the kitchen, I looked out the small window at the empty flower bed, my thoughts drifting. I sincerely hoped her piano recital would go well, my heart full of anticipation and maternal pride. Days before Lily's recital, our peace shattered in an instant. "Mom, help!" Lily's cry reached me in the backyard where I was hanging laundry. I dropped the damp towel and rushed inside to find Lily crying, Nathan standing by awkwardly, and Vanessa holding Lily's recital dress like a trophy. "What's wrong?" I asked, though the scene told me enough. "Dad gave my dress to Harper," Lily sobbed. "Nathan, what's happening?" I demanded. "I thought Harper should wear it too," he mumbled, avoiding my eyes. As I pressed for answers, Harper suddenly tugged at Vanessa's sleeve. "Mom, stop. Give Lily her dress back," she pleaded. "Why? Your uncle gave it to you, didn't he?" Vanessa turned to Nathan, who nodded weakly. I couldn't believe it. "We just bought this dress specially for Lily's recital." Harper broke away from her mother and rushed to my side. Mom told Uncle Nathan to take Lily's dress, she revealed desperately. Vanessa smiled calmly. I just wanted Harper to have it too. She patted Harper's head. This dress suits your pretty face so well. But it's my dress. Lily protested through tears. Doesn't it look prettier on Harper? Vanessa pressed, laughing mockingly. Your face is plain, Lily. This dress suits Harper better, she added cruelly. Fury rose within me. Vanessa, that's uncalled for. It's reality. Prettier girls deserve prettier dresses, don't they? She challenged. I looked at Nathan, silent and pale. Is Lily crying because she lost her dress? He asked weakly. No, Dad. I'm sad because my dress was taken from me, Lily clarified. Harper is cuter, Nathan. Don't you think so? Vanessa pushed. I don't even want the dress, Harper whispered. I just want to play with Lily. Harper, what are you saying? Vanessa scolded. When someone offers you something, you take it. Nathan, under his sister's influence, delivered the final blow. Harper does look better in the dress than Lily. Time stopped. His words hit like ice water, numbing me completely. Thank you for everything until now, I said flatly, taking Lily's hand. Lily nodded, understanding my decision. Goodbye, Dad, she said steadily. We prepared to leave, and though Vanessa's laughter followed us out the door, we didn't look back, our resolve strengthening with each step toward a new future. We'd barely walked 10 minutes when my phone rang from Nathan. It's your dad, I told Lily before answering. What the hell happened? I've been fired. Nathan's voice exploded with rage. I froze, processing his words. Fired? Why now? My boss just called. Did you do this, Olivia? My mind flashed to Harper's confession. Mom and Uncle Nathan are doing something bad. I'd hired a private investigator, unable to get answers directly from Nathan, who always sided with Vanessa. The investigator discovered Nathan's affair with a client's daughter and reported it to his company. You knew? He accused. I used my savings for a detective. You weren't working late. You were cheating, I said. Silence fell. I explained how after Harper's warning, I'd sought answers privately. When I learned of his affair, I contacted his lover's husband, who sent the report to Nathan's company. I've lost everything because of you. He shouted. This isn't my fault. You chose this path, I replied, anger and sadness mixing inside me. As we hurried to the station in the cold wind, Nathan whispered, It's all Vanessa's fault. How? You had the affair, not her. Just before Vanessa moved nearby, I helped her move and met her friend. We hit it off. So her flashy friend caught your eye? Cold fury rose in me. Vanessa told me you were having an affair, he claimed. Me? I work with mostly women and spend weekends at home. He confronted me. I was shaken and couldn't ask you directly. When I got invited for drinks, I thought, if you're cheating, why shouldn't I? So that's your excuse? I answered. Vanessa manipulated me, demanding money. I'm the victim here. The only victim is you in your mind, I said, standing up. Lily returned as the train approached. You prioritized your affair over your family, I told him. Please, one more chance. Doesn't Lily need me? Won't she miss my braiding her hair? The train arrived. Lily boarded first, then reached up and undid her braid. Mom, let's go, she said, extending her hand. Lily, your braid. I noticed it and told her. I always hated it. Waiting for him was annoying, she said. I knew she was being brave for me. I boarded the train and ended the call. Goodbye, Nathan. Walk the path you chose. Just like that, our life together ended. Nathan's face, voice, feelings, all gone. Lily took my hand as the breeze lifted her loose hair. Forcing a smile, I realized I needed to look forward not just for her, but for myself too. Later, I arranged to meet Vanessa, not out of sympathy for Nathan, but because I had always wanted to confront her directly, knowing she might be the mastermind behind it all. I knew I'd regret it if I didn't. Sitting on a park bench, I waited nervously. Soon Vanessa appeared, dressed in her usual flashy attire, exuding confidence as always. Why did you call me out here? Her voice was sharp, cutting through the air. I have something to discuss with you. I tried to speak firmly, ready to release the frustrations that had been building up inside me. Oh, here to blame me again? Vanessa smirked, covering her mouth, and then burst into exaggerated laughter. If Nathan cheated on you, that's hardly my fault, she said with a dismissive wave. I can't forgive you for lying to Nathan and destroying our family. Are you blaming me just to cover your own shortcomings? Nathan's affair was the result of your neglect. Vanessa's words were intended to provoke me. I took a deep breath, trying to keep my composure. Hiring a private investigator to dig into his affair, you practically ruined your own life. I also submitted the investigation results to the local authorities. Vanessa tilted her head slightly, not understanding. The sky was darkening, with rain imminent. Authorities? What are you talking about? Along with Nathan's investigation, I also had you investigated, Vanessa. Her eyes widened. I had hired the detective to investigate not only Nathan but also Vanessa. After all, Harper had told me, Mom and Uncle Nathan are doing something bad. Vanessa's actions hadn't seemed suspicious. Despite being a single mother, she likely had a boyfriend, nothing unusual about that. However, this boyfriend was visiting her place so often it was practically cohabitation. Did you know to qualify for single mother support, certain conditions need to be met? After receiving the detective's report, I submitted it to the appropriate authorities. She was practically living with a man who, though an ordinary worker, was likely financially supporting her. Additionally, she not only left Harper with me but also frequently left her alone at the apartment at night, indulging in her expensive lifestyle. Based on this information, they might conduct an investigation. If you've been receiving benefits under false pretenses, you might be asked to pay it all back. Vanessa's face turned pale. At that moment, I made a decision. I would no longer let this woman control my life. The heavy dark clouds above were on the verge of releasing rain. I don't want anything to do with you anymore. Don't ruin my life, I said firmly. I stood up, looking at Vanessa as she sat there stunned. The rain began to fall in droplets. I took a folding umbrella from my bag and handed it to her. Take it, or you'll catch a cold. I walked away, leaving Vanessa on the bench, staring blankly. My heart wasn't entirely at ease, but this was the end of my conflict with Vanessa. I resolved to take this first step toward reclaiming my own happiness. A few months passed, and as winter eased, I prepared for a fresh start. The divorce with Nathan proceeded quietly, his initial resistance fading. His plans to marry his affair partner fell through. After our divorce, Nathan lost everything: job, family, and girlfriend. Vanessa was found misusing child support on shopping sprees and dating multiple men. The authorities ordered her to repay all unlawfully received financial aid. My concern was Harper. Her father had taken custody after Vanessa was reported for neglect, leaving Harper alone while she went out. I'm happy here with you, Harper said cheerfully at our apartment entrance. Lily and I had moved near Harper's new home. The girls had always been close, and I wanted to preserve their bond despite the divorce. Lily resumed piano lessons, and Harper began learning too. They motivated each other, their friendship strengthening through music. I secured a full-time position as a costume designer at a theater company. I was working for both my family and my own dreams now. Hope grew inside me. Perhaps the girls would perform together wearing costumes I designed. From my new kitchen window, I watched spring arrive. I wondered if the tulips we planted at our old home had bloomed, but that chapter was closed. In the living room, I worked at my sewing machine on Lily's school play costume. Soft light filled the room as music caught my attention. Harper sat at our old piano in the corner. I can almost play this song now. Lily, listen for a minute before your turn, she said intently. Her fingers touched the keys, releasing awkward notes that soon formed a melody. Bach's Minuet, the piece Lily practiced. As the music flowed, peace washed over me. Our new beginning was imperfect but beautiful.